So let's just settle into a nice, comfortable seated posture. And I'm running 4 minutes late, so I'm going to run a little fast through the settling. So for those of you, Judith's lying, but most of you are sitting either at a desk or with your in a cross-legged seated posture. I just want to check the sound. Okay, forget it. I'm not checking the sound. Okay, just want to check the sound before we...
You sound great, Venerable.
It does? Okay. No, I wanted to go through my AirPods. There we are. Is that a little better?
It sounds the same. It sounds really good.
It sounds the same. Okay, good, because I can hear you guys better this way. All right. So let's just settle in. Maybe I'm the one that needs to settle. So for those of you with your feet down, have your feet, both feet flat on the floor. And really try and feel the sensation of the feet through the floor. Feel your sits bones and shoulders aligned with the hips. And ribs aligned with your hip bones, and then your ears aligned with your shoulders. And imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light that stretch from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. So just imagine you're lengthening your spine and put some space in between the vertebrae. And then go to the crown of the head and just relax your scalp, your face, all the way down your body, all the way down to your feet and toes. Be aware of any sounds in your environment, trying not to have the mind run off and investigate. So just allow those sounds to be there. And then just be aware of the thoughts that are arising in the mind. Try and put some space in between the thoughts. Try not to criticize what's in your own mind. And just take a step back and be objective about what's there. And then bring to mind some people of your life. So your loved ones, strangers, and the ones you don't like so much. And then due to the nature of this impermanent world we live in, these relationships can change. They can become interchangeable. And regardless of how you feel about anybody at any particular time, they're all equal. Just like you and me, they all want to be happy. They don't want to suffer. And they all have this extraordinary capacity for a Buddha mind. So I think we'll do this practice tonight for all these people of our life and by extension, all sentient beings. So think, there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. So we create negativity with our mind. So equally, we can change that and create positivity instead. So we start with this power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives. And think of actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. And we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. And so, having harmed others, we ourselves will experience suffering in the future. So we think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering, and also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to this power of reliance, where we rely upon the Buddha Vajrasattva, who we see as a doctor, who has these methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we need the Buddha to forgive us. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon his medicine. So, I remember, recently Yangtze Rinpoche was in San Francisco, and he talked about this practice being a healing practice. So it's a beautiful way to think of it. So you imagine this beautiful Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. And if all that detail in that image in front of you is too much, just imagine a beautiful ball of healing white light, luminescent, translucent. You can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of this beautiful light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. He has a beautiful radiant face. His eyes are long and peaceful and accepting you exactly as you are showing up tonight. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart. The left is underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, and this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So we just have a little section here on developing compassion. And compassion is the wish for all beings to be free from suffering. So remember the people that maybe you've harmed in the past. Maybe think of people who've harmed you and have compassion for them. So we need other sentient beings to develop compassion. So this is why it's in that section on reliance. So then we come to this power of remedy. So we're going to do this practice for all these beings. So we start with the body, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely, and it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid, and this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shiyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Hompe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Trida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anurakta meboa, sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me, sitam shiyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tatagata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hompe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya, vajrasattva dina patita, trida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anurakta meboa, sawasidi mimpiyata sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shiyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shiyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shiyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Trida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shiyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Trida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shiyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified. And think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. So next is this purification of our speech, and Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and quite forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech. And this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking about people behind their backs and getting other people to agree with you. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Trida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shiyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Trida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shiyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tatagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shiyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Trita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shiyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Trita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shiyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Trita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shiyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Trita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shiyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with your speech. And that includes yourself, because you will hear what it is you're saying. So next is the purification of our mind. And imagine that Vajrasattva very compassionately now sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So, it's the same as when you walk into a room, it's dark, and you flick on the switch. The light that comes instantly dispels the darkness. So the same here. The moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, all your attachment and neediness, bitterness, anger, depression, anxiety, all of this instantly dispelled, not one atom left as we recite the mantra again. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Trita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shiyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Trita Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shiyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dina Patita, Trita Meboa, Situkaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me, Sitam Shiyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Trita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shiyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Trita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shiyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Trita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta meboa sawa sidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriam kuru hum ha ho bhagawan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasafa samaya manupalaya vajrasafa dina patita. Drita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawa sidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriam kuru hum ha ho bhagawan. Sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. So again, be so delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified. And think that there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is this purification of even the imprints of negativity of our body, speech, and mind. And this time imagine Vajrasattva sends light and nectar, and it fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your consciousness. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Drita meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, sawasidi mimpiyatsa sawa kama sita me, sitam shriam kuru hum ha ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Drita meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriam kuru hum ha ho bhagawan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Drita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriam kuru hum ha ho bhagawan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Drita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriam kuru hum ha ho bhagawan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Drita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriam kuru hum ha ho bhagawan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Drita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriam kuru hum ha ho bhagawan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita. Drita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpiyatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriam kuru hum ha ho bhagawan. Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe. So now feel you're completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to this power of resolve. And this is the fourth and final step of the purification process. And it's a really crucial one. And this is this determination to not harm or to refrain from harming with our body and our speech and our mind. So without this, making a decision like this, we're not going to change our habits. It's really all it is. It's just kind of this, as one of my Tai Chi teachers said, it's habit energies. So first of all, rejoice in your efforts coming along tonight or this morning or even this midday for some of you, and for some of you very late. So rejoice in all of your efforts, everybody. And then think about something you'd like to work on. Maybe it's, negative self-talk, or maybe it's gossiping about others, or, whatever it is that you'd like to work on. And just between now and tomorrow, and keep it really simple. Don't make too much of a meal out of it. And let's just dedicate. Vajrasattva is delighted with us, wants to merge with your mind and melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. So next, Rinpoche would recommend to meditate on emptiness. So we'd say, in the emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. We can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. And you can also think that the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice tonight ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So let's just do our chanting the names of Manjushri. Great wish-fulfilling tree, most plentiful, the greatest of all great auspicious vases, filling the aims of living beings, a doer and ally most beloved to all creatures. Aware of good and bad, aware of times, the omnipresent knower of the pledges, upholding pledges, conscious of occasions, awake to varied aptitudes in beings, with expertise in threefold liberation. With virtues, knowing Dharma, auspicious source of all auspiciousness, of all auspicious things, the most auspicious, great splendor, glory good, most prosperous. And let's just have a strong wish for His Holiness the Dalai Lama to live long, for the swift return of our precious Lama Zopa Rinpoche, and then for all of your own individual teachers. All right, everybody. Lots of love. Thank you so much for hosting. Was that Shayla hosting tonight? Yep. Okay. Thank you, Shayla. Okay, everybody. Good night. Sleep well. Have a wonderful day, Shrey. And okay. All right, everyone.